What's going on, everyone? So, made a video diving into this image in particular. According to Beyond the Mask, this image is of Sydney Prescott doing her interview with Gale Weathers. Now, obviously, this isn't a scene in the movie, the actual movie scene, because Kevin Williamson is in the frame, and it's him directing that said scene. We got this image. It was one of the first looks, marketing images that we got for the upcoming Scream 7. And with it, it was like, okay, what is this from, right? Because it does look like she's on like a talk show host type of set. And turns out, again, according to kind of word going around, always take everything with a grain of salt just to be safe, right? Nothing is confirmed until we actually have seen the actual movie or we get confirmation from the studio or something. But there is and have been rumors for a while now that Sydney is finally going to give Gale Weathers her kind of moment, right? Finally give her the interview that she's always wanted, and why she's gotten punched in the face on several occasions, at least two times, if not more behind the scenes that we don't know about. But so with that, question becomes, when does that interview take place? Like, if this is in the beginning of the movie or somewhere in the middle or something, but is she like giving Gale an interview in the middle of the a Ghostface attack, right? Like, I've seen people throw out the idea of like, oh well, maybe what it is it's a trap, and Sydney and Gale are doing this purposefully to trap Ghostface. But my problem with that is, like, if this is like a live tape, like Ghostface just gonna run on national TV and take out Sydney and Gale? I mean, maybe it's that abrasive. I don't know, like, if that's the approach. But the reason I wanted to talk about this, bring this up again, is because if this is not in the beginning or middle of the movie, it confirms that Gale Weathers survives. Now we know Scream 8 is coming, but unless that is, like I said, in the middle of the movie when Ghostface is going around, and maybe people are right, maybe it really is kind of a trap or a lure to get Ghostface to show up or whatever, it kind of leads you to believe that Gale Weathers is gonna survive. Like, I mean, Gale's going through the cancel culture, going through all this stuff. It wouldn't make sense for Gale to finally get the interview she's always wanted, unless it is, kind of supposed to be like this kind of happy ending, full circle moment, right? So, whoever this killer is, it's somebody that's supposed to be connected and tied to the past, right? Like, there's several clues and hints towards it. But, with that, it's like, okay, well, maybe there is this kind of conclusive full circle moment that leads Sydney to go, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give Gale what she wanted, what she's always wanted, which is the interview. Now, as far as Gale surviving, again, I'm not against it as long as it's purposeful, right? Like, my problem is that, like, you look at Scream 6, you might as well have just killed her. Like, the only thing she really did was become Ghostface fodder in that movie. Like, she didn't do anything in Scream 6. Like, the only thing, like, everything that they set up to establish in Scream 5, they just kind of took away and didn't go anywhere with it, and then didn't add to her character in Scream 6. And then, the one thing she did was find the shrine room, the little Ghostface museum, but it was pointless because, again, it didn't drive the plot further. It didn't tell and add to the story. Detective Bailey said himself he was going to show it, that he was going to be the one that, stumbled across it, but Gale beat him to it. Right? Like, so again, even her one sole purpose didn't even lead or pay off to anything. Right? And then you go and you appear that you kill her, and we didn't even know she survived, like, except for an off-camera, like, oh, hey, by the way, Gale's alive, right? Like, we didn't even get to, like, there was no point for her being in that movie at all, right? Like, so my thing is, like, if you don't know and you can't write these characters, fine, kill them off, right? So be it. I'm not against you killing and taking out these characters, but I mean, I don't want them to die just for the, like just because it's like, oh, well, we don't know what else to do with them. But like, it's just at some point, it's like, come on, man. Like, either write a story building these characters, or be done. Right? Move on from these characters and stop, drawing up characters that you don't know what to do with. Right? And the other thing too is like the whole reason you killed Dewey was to set the tone and establish that no one is safe. Right? You killed Dewey so that way you could get the point across that, like, hey, no one is safe. This is a whole new game, new, writers and directors and blah, 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 blah. So, if you're expecting Gale, Sidney, and Dewey to survive like always, you're going to be very disappointed. Like, that was the whole point. That was the whole purpose, right? Well, now what? Now you go and, you kill Dewey, and then in Scream 6, you do nothing. Like, nobody dies. Like the bodega people, but it doesn't count. Like, NPCs, basically. Right? Like, you didn't kill any main characters. Everyone survives. It's kumbaya, happy ending. And now you're going into this movie, and it's like, is everyone just going to survive again? Everyone's just going to live? Is that what we're doing again? We're just, hey, you get to survive, and you get to survive, right? Again, I'm fine with Gale surviving if there's purpose to her story. Now, Kevin Williamson's back in the fold. He's got a writer credit, so on and so forth. So, these are his characters, particularly Sidney and Gale. So hopefully, he can kind of right the ship in a lot of ways and kind of get things back in order with Gale Weathers, because that would be very helpful. That would be great if we could get something like that where, Gale actually has purpose in a story and drive, and, because otherwise, besides that, it's just like, again, it's just kill her, get off of her. And like, what's the point? What's the point of keeping her around to just have her be there? Right? Like, just background support. Like, if you can't write the story of the characters, then don't bring the characters in. Let Gale, write her in. She's the host of her talk show and just tied up and busy, and she's in another country, whatever, doing whatever. Like, she's a reporter, like world famous reporter. You could come up with a million things. Like, she's writing, she went to isolation to go write a story or something. Like, whatever you got to say, whatever you got to do, right? If you can't come up with a creative story. But look, I'm all for Gale and Sidney having a full circle moment and all that stuff. I think that would be awesome. I think that would be great. But, I want there to be purpose. You look at Scream 5 with Sidney, look at Scream 6 with Gale. It's just like, there's no real purpose with their characters. So I'm hopeful that they can kind of right the ship, that they can kind of get things right and together. But, we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. At the end of the day, like I said, I just want a good movie. I just want good character developments. I want the legacy characters in particular to have purpose, right? And reason, and there be kind of, like just development and driving force to their characters. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. What do you think? How do you feel with your thoughts? Do you think that this is confirmation? Do you think like, the interview will probably happen earlier? Does it really make sense to have an interview in the middle of a Ghostface attack? Anyway, again, love to hear it either way. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you like this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.